I've been wanting to film this video for so long, but I always doubt myself when I go to talk about health and fitness because I know that I am not stereotypically what health and fitness looks like. But in saying that, I have had a huge and very long health and fitness journey that has had very, very many ups and downs, and I just wanted to sit down today and talk about all of the ups and downs. I get questions all the time on my opinions on things and why I've done certain things and why I'm not doing certain things anymore. So I just wanted to sit down and talk about it all, give you my honest and hard truths about how I've gone about things for the last few years. I also wanted to chat a little bit about where I am now and what I'm going to be doing moving forward after learning all of the things I've learned over the last few years. So this is going to be just a big chatty video, so grab a snack, get comfy, and thanks for just hearing me out and hearing what I have to say. One of my favorite things about having my life all online is the fact that I can just go back to any point of time in my life and watch a video or look at photos from that exact time. But equally, it's kind of scary to like see it all in so much detail, and going back on all of this old footage of me like is kind of a bit emotional for me, I feel, because I just wish I could go back and give her a big hug, honestly. But in around September in 2019, I had just moved house and I wanted to sign up to a new gym closer to my house and just kind of actually fully get into health and fitness. I was originally going to join F45 just because I wanted the group fitness vibe, the atmosphere, the accountability. But at that time, my mum was actually going to a group fitness with a local PT in the area, and she just told me to come along and try it. So I went and I signed up for an 8-week challenge with that PT and his little group of clients, and I really enjoyed it for quite a while. I think I was doing at least 3 workouts a week in a park, getting some sun, getting some fresh air, getting to chat with people. It was honestly really fun. I wouldn't say I knew anything about health and fitness or nutrition at this point, but that was kind of the aim of joining that group, is to actually learn more about it all. After that 8-week challenge, I decided to stay with this PT and just keep doing the group fitness classes every week, and I also started doing 1 PT session a week as well, where we could actually just take our time, focus on form. He could teach me a lot about certain exercises because I honestly had no idea what I was doing, and it was really nice having someone beside me who did know how to teach me how to do things. Obviously, early the next year in 2020, COVID hit, and that was a huge hit for group fitness because we couldn't gather together in a group and work out. So my PT decided to do Zoom calls, which were really good, exactly what we needed at the time. Obviously not ideal, but making it work. I was doing 2 at-home Zoom workouts a day, which is probably excessive, just 45-minute body weight workouts. And then once COVID started to ease up a little bit, my PT built a little gym under his house, and he had like a squat rack and some dumbbells, and I was seeing him twice a week for 2 30-minute sessions, and I really loved learning more about weightlifting, having one-on-one sessions. He started to teach me a little bit more about nutrition. I kind of started tracking at this stage, but not fully. I didn't really have any idea what I was doing, but that's where my situation was at, and that continued on for quite a while. I feel like I was at a stage for a very long time where I was exercising frequently, I was walking a lot, I was being told to track and like get my nutrition on track, and I just never got my nutrition where it was meant to be. But I was feeling really good about moving my body, and I was really enjoying all of my workouts. And then I started to learn a little bit more about nutrition probably like a year or so later. I don't know really why it took me so long. Maybe I just couldn't do like 2 things at once. I was already learning weightlifting, so I didn't want to learn like macros and stuff at the same time. But there was quite a long period of time where I had no idea about tracking or calories and macros, and honestly, I wish I could go back to those days before I knew anything. My PT ended up moving houses. He created a bigger garage gym, continued seeing him twice a week. He was writing me up a program. I was going to the gym and training with my friends doing that program, and I was seeing some changes. I was finally fully understanding how to track calories, what macros I should be hitting every day, the steps I should be hitting every day, the workouts I should be doing every day, and things were happening. Hi! Winston's come to say hello. Hello. You smell like grass, which means you've been digging out there, haven't you? I look back at old vlogs of when I was in this stage of my life, and I actually get really emotional because I was completely unaware of everything that I was doing. I was doing 2 workouts a day most days. I was hitting at least 10,000 steps, most likely more, and I was tracking every single piece of food that went into my belly. And I look back and I'm like, first of all, I don't know how I managed to do that all and be so so productive and still like love my life. And at that time, I didn't feel like I was being excessive. I didn't feel like I was restricting. I didn't feel like I was over exercising. It all just felt good at that time. And it went on like that for quite a while. And I don't know if I was just in denial, but I just don't remember ever thinking, oh, this is a bit too far, or oh, I'm being restrictive, or I need to like take a step back. This is really toxic. I was just really happy doing everything that I was doing. Occasionally, I would have people online call me out and say I was being really toxic and restrictive, but I didn't believe them. I just thought that they were straight up giving me hate because, I don't know, they were jealous or something. I don't know, but I just never actually realized how toxic the world that I was in was. I've naturally always been a bigger person, and so going into working out, I was like, yep, my goal is to lose weight. It was never to eat well to fuel my body or move my body to make me feel good. It was just get in, lose weight. And obviously that's kind of toxic in itself, depending on the reason why you're losing weight. But I feel like if you're going into health, fitness and exercising with the only goal to lose weight, it's bound to not end well. At least for me, it didn't. And it's crazy because when you're in that world of tracking calories and over exercising and having food and exercise being the only thoughts that you have all day, weirdly, everyone around you kind of like molds into that. I feel like once you're in the world, you're really in it. Like somehow, like I just remember everyone I was following on Instagram was doing the same thing at the same time, which made it feel really normal to be doing. I was following people who were also tracking and sharing about what the food that they were eating and the lowest calorie options ever. And it just made me feel like what I was doing was right and it was normal. And if people are hating on me, it's just because they want to hate on something. Like it's not because I was actually doing anything wrong. And I was like that for quite a long time. Looking back now too, I wouldn't say that I had an eating disorder. I was never binging. I don't think that I was being so unrealistic. I feel like I was doing everything to the extreme, but not to the extreme where it was really, really harmful for me. Just to the extreme where I needed to be careful that I didn't go too far, if that makes sense. I never felt guilty if I went out with friends and I ate whatever I wanted. I feel like I had a really good mindset with that for myself. But then when other people would come in and give me their opinion on that, that's when I started to question myself. I just feel like when you're in the world, you're really in it and everyone else is really in it with you. And if the people around you are making you feel guilty about eating normal food and hanging out with your friends and living your life in your early 20s, it's kind of a red flag. And I just had a moment, I would say in like August, September last year, where something just clicked in my brain. It was really, really weird because I felt so good for so long. I was looking my absolute best, and all of a sudden I was like, all I think about is food and how I look in the mirror every day. Every day when I'm tracking my weight, I let that number on the scale affect how I live my day. And I know people have had it worse. I know that I was not to the extreme and I'm probably being a little bit dramatic, but it was just like I had been hit in the head with a ton of bricks. It was almost like a curtain got like uncovered from my eyes and I could actually see how I'd been living my life for so long. And I just realized that I really, really needed to take a step back. I had a chat with my PT and I ended up canceling my membership with him. I stopped tracking my weight daily. I stopped tracking my calories. I was still going to the gym with friends and just really enjoying lots of different types of movements instead of just strictly following a program. And I felt really, really good about all of that. That period of my life was really just me doing me for me without any crazy goals, not working towards something 24/7. And I was just kind of trying to like unlearn everything that I had been doing for the last year or so. I would say from September to December last year was me just truly living my life, doing whatever I wanted to do, training when I wanted, eating what I wanted, getting my steps when I wanted. And then after that time, I kept getting questions all the time of people asking when I was going to get a PT again or when I was going to start tracking again. And I just felt like I was being kind of pressured to get back to the person that I was before, because that's when my YouTube and Instagram kind of not blew up, but like I started growing a lot more than I had ever in my career. I do believe that a lot of people followed me back then for the restrictive lifestyle that I was living, because I think that unfortunately a lot of people fall into this cycle, and I was just stuck with, okay, like I've had my time to heal, figure out what I want, figure out how to go about this whole health and fitness thing in the right and healthy way. What are my next steps moving forward? However, this year in particular, I can't believe it's already August, because that means I've just been doing 7 months of so much internal work and growth. This video is about my health and fitness journey, but I feel like I have almost become a different person this year. I've realized a lot of things about myself personally, and working through a lot of that stuff has kind of just naturally affected my health and fitness. It was kind of like when I was in my overexercising, under eating kind of phase of life, that was all I could think and focus on. Whereas this year I've been working on myself, like my own like heart and soul, so much this year that I almost couldn't put a lot of energy into everything else. I feel like I didn't put a lot of energy into my work or my health and fitness. I've just kind of been focusing on like me, my friendships, what I do and don't believe in, all of that fun stuff. But because of that, my health and fitness has literally just been sitting in the back corner struggling. And now it's August 2022 and I'm sitting at the heaviest I have ever been. I feel like I'm about to get emotional and I don't want to. I know that how you look is the least important thing about you. I feel like I have always just been advocating for people to just love themselves as they are. It doesn't matter what the number on the scale is. It doesn't matter what size of clothes you are. But it has been, oh my gosh, I am actually not about to cry right now. That's so silly. It has been really hard to see my weight and body change the way it has since almost a year ago. I feel like this year has just flown by, and because I've had such an emotionally growing year, I kind of just turned to food to like help me heal, and in turn of that have just put on a lot of weight. And again, living life online is very interesting because you think that no one cares and no one notices things about your life, but it's surprising how many people are really paying attention. And you know, getting hate online is never easy, but it's especially hard when you're already very insecure about something. As I said, when I used to get hate about under eating and over exercising and blah blah blah, it never affected me because I just thought that they were lying. But when people are giving me hate online about gaining weight and losing myself, and you looked so much better a year ago, you looked so much better when you were training with your PT, your content sucks now, blah blah blah, it hurts so much more because I believe it to be true, and I'm already extremely hurt and insecure by that, just from myself, without anyone else's outside perspective. So this year has been really hard body acceptance wise. I think that I am bigger now than I was when I first started my health fitness journey in 2019, which is a really hard pill to swallow because I put in so much work over the last few years to get to where I was end of last year, and now 7 months later I'm literally just back at square one. But in saying that, I have learnt so many lessons, and I have learnt how to go about health and fitness in the right way. Yes, under eating and over exercising makes you lose weight, but it kills your soul, and I would rather feel how I feel right now than live the life that I was living last year. It's funny because losing weight tends to make you feel really good, but putting on weight I think is one of the hardest things for me, at least, maybe not for everyone. But I was always a naturally bigger girl, and so I was never looking at my body watch it gain weight. I just feel like I was always naturally big, and then I went on a huge weight loss journey and lost lots of weight. So every morning I was waking up and I feel like I was looking smaller and smaller and smaller, and that was my goal at the time. Whereas this year, this is kind of the first time I've watched my body do the opposite, and it's been really hard. I think self-love and self-acceptance and loving yourself no matter what you look like is an extremely hard thing to master, and progress is never linear as well. Like, there'll be days where I feel, Winston is snoring in my arms, I'm so sorry if you can hear that. There'll be days where I feel on top of the world, I think I look so good and nothing can bring me down, and then there are some days I literally don't want to get out of bed because I don't want anyone to see what I look like. And I think that's why I struggled with my job so much this year, because my job is to show up online and be myself, and when I'm struggling to get out of bed because I don't want anyone to see me, it's hard to just pick up my camera and be like, good morning. So that's kind of just where I am at right now. I was chatting with a couple of friends recently about how I just really haven't been doing anything to physically prioritize myself. Mentally, I've been doing actually really well recently, but physically, I've been eating like absolute trash. My gym routine has been so inconsistent. I am walking every day because I want to give Winston time to live his best life, but I need to get my life sorted. I need to get back on track. I need to start moving my body to feel good. I remember when I first started getting into weightlifting, I didn't even care about how much weight I was losing. I didn't care about how I looked. I just loved knowing how much my body was capable of doing. I loved lifting weight and being like, oh, I'm capable of lifting that weight. And I want to get back to that. I want to get back to just being proud of what my body is capable of doing instead of just just how it looks every day in the mirror. I need to stop eating takeaway food purely for my health. Like, not anything to do with my weight, but I need to stop. I need to. I feel awful. I don't even want to know what it is doing to my body. So I was chatting to a few friends, and I think that I'm gonna have a few little goals moving forward just to like get me back on track and get into the habit of doing these things every day. Not too long ago, I did a 30-day soft challenge, which I'll have a vlog link down below where I talk about it a bit more, but I really loved that challenge. I just feel like the one thing I didn't do super well was the eating aspect. The eating goal was to eat what feels good, just because you can't give everyone the same food goal, and that generally was my goal at the time, was to eat what feels good, and I just kind of didn't fully stick to it. But I feel like 30-day soft is kind of the energy that I want to bring back to my life right now. My goal is to only eat out when I'm with my friends. So instead of just grabbing Macca's on the way home and eating it alone on my couch, I would rather come home, cook dinner, eat that, and if my friend says, hey, want to grab dinner, I'll go out and grab dinner with them, if that makes sense. So just trying to eat at home as much as physically possible, and at least one meal has to be packed with veggies, because I am so bad at eating my vegetables, like so bad. Even when I was tracking and losing heaps of weight, I was not eating enough vegetables at all because they were still calories. So if I was eating calories, I wanted them to be something yum, which is so toxic. Anyway, and I want to be getting back into movement. I want to take Winston on at least one walk a day, and me to get in some sort of movement apart from that as well. And I don't know why or how I got this mentality compared to my old mentality, but I purely just want to do these things to make my life better. I feel like when I'm not fueling my body right and I'm not exercising, it doesn't make me feel good. And those days tend to be the days I feel awful about how my body looks, because I'm not doing anything to make it feel good. I'm really determined to stay in this really healthy, positive mindset about giving my body the love that it deserves. I feel so connected to myself this year. I know what I want. I know who I want to be surrounded with, and I'm on the right track. I just need to bring my body back up to speed. I need to eat well, train well, live my life, and just feel good about it all. I've been through the ringer and I'm sick of it, and I am just ready to feel good again. Anyway, I feel like I've just talked your ear off for so long. This is your very friendly reminder that if you're surrounded by people who are not making you feel good or bringing you down with their comments about how you live your life, I would just take a step back and reassess and decide what you do and don't want for yourself. How you look and how much you weigh is the least interesting thing about you, and the right people will understand that. If anyone has anything negative to say about how you look, that's on them. That is 100% on them, and actually has nothing to do with you. You deserve to live the life you want and feel good in your own body and your own skin, whatever that means for you. I am here right alongside you, going through the same thing. Everyone is, I promise. I wish that I could go back and tell old Georgia that it gets better. It's been a very interesting journey, but I do really appreciate all of the love and support I have had from you along the way. There's been lots of ups and downs, me ignoring the hate, me agreeing with the hate, but the love and support in my comments and DMs always 100% outweigh the hate, and I am really appreciative of that. I love you so much. I'm sending you all of my love. Thank you for listening to me ramble, and I will catch you in my next video in the very near future. Bye.